Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. B&B weekly spoilers, recriminations, clashes, and opportunities. It's going to be a week no one will ever forget on B&B. The week of February 12th to February 16th promises lots of drama on The Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers tease that there will be recriminations, clashes, and new opportunities. This is a week you won't want to miss. Lee, Naomi Matsuda, and Poppy, Romy Park, argue over Poppy's life choices. Luna, Lisa Yamada, wakes up to find her life has turned upside down. Zend, Delon Metz, and Luna talk about their shared night together. Poppy is stunned by Luna's news. Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, assures RJ, Joshua Hoffman, of Luna's commitment. Poppy realizes she may be responsible for Luna's actions. Luna is incredulous that her mother is the reason she cheated on RJ. Eric, John McCook, offers Zend a new opportunity. Zend is shocked when Poppy and Luna make a confession. Luna is faced with making an unbearable choice. B&B spoilers, Luna's bad breath leads to a bad morning after. Luna and Poppy are going through some things. On the February 12th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers tease a harrowing day for Luna as she wakes up and realizes something very bad happened the night before. Luna, Lisa Yamada, was thirsty. Very, very thirsty. And that water on Zend's, Delon Metz, windowsill looked so good that she just had to enter his little house and guzzle some down. Then, his bed looked even better, so what would a little nap hurt? After all, she was so tired that she had to leave RJ, Joshua Hoffman, behind at his grandfather's latest impromptu living room wedding. When Zend appeared, all she could think about was RJ, but poor Zend had no clue what was going on. He just saw a pretty woman in his bed saying she was waiting for him. Now, it's morning and Luna is not thirsty or tired anymore. She's just shocked and horrified to see Zend next to her. Did Luna and Zend really do what Luna thinks they did? Does Luna have some explaining to do to RJ? What will Zend even think when he realizes he is not the person Luna was waiting for? Meanwhile, Luna's mother and aunt once again share words as Lee, Naomi Matsuda, continues to think of herself as the superior sister. When Lee and Poppy, Romy Park, have another confrontation, things get ugly. Lee takes Poppy to task for all her life choices, but did she make any of those poor decisions when she was living with Lee, Jack, Ted King, and Finn, Tanner Novlin, during Finn's college years? That could be one reason Lee wants Poppy and Luna to leave Los Angeles as soon as possible. It doesn't look like Lee is going to get her wish. Luna's bad breath leads to a bad morning after. Luna and Poppy are going through some things. On the February 12th episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers tease a harrowing day for Luna as she wakes up and realizes something very bad happened the night before. Luna, Lisa Yamada, was thirsty. Very, very thirsty. And that water on Zend's, Delon Metz, windowsill looked so good that she just had to enter his little house and guzzle some down. Then, his bed looked even better, so what would a little nap hurt? After all, she was so tired that she had to leave RJ, Joshua Hoffman, behind at his grandfather's latest impromptu living room wedding. When Zend appeared, all she could think about was RJ, but poor Zend had no clue what was going on. He just saw a pretty woman in his bed saying she was waiting for him. Now, it's morning and Luna is not thirsty or tired anymore. She's just shocked and horrified to see Zend next to her. Did Luna and Zend really do what Luna thinks they did? Does Luna have some explaining to do to RJ? What will Zend even think when he realizes he is not the person Luna was waiting for? Meanwhile, Luna's mother and aunt once again share words as Lee, Naomi Matsuda, continues to think of herself as the superior sister. When Lee and Poppy, Romy Park, have another confrontation, things get ugly. Lee takes Poppy to task for all her life choices, but did she make any of those poor decisions when she was living with Lee, Jack, Ted King, and Finn, Tanner Novlin, during Finn's college years? That could be one reason Lee wants Poppy and Luna to leave Los Angeles as soon as possible. It doesn't look like Lee is going to get her wish. As the sun dipped behind the Los Angeles skyline, casting long shadows across the bustling city, tension simmered beneath the surface of the Forrester mansion. The air crackled with anticipation, each breath pregnant with the promise of recriminations, clashes, and unexpected opportunities. In the world of the bold and the beautiful, drama was not merely a spectator sport, it was a way of life. At the heart of this week's tumultuous events stood the formidable figure of matriarch Stephanie Forrester. Clad in her signature power suits and with a steely glint in her eye, Stephanie was a force to be reckoned with, a lioness protecting her pride. Yet even she could not control the tempest that brewed within her own family. The first whispers of discord came from the usually serene grounds of the Forrester estate. Brooke Logan, the perennial thorn in Stephanie's side, had returned from her travels abroad with a newfound sense of purpose. Determined to reclaim her place in the family fold, Brooke wasted no time in confronting her longtime nemesis. Sparks flew as old wounds were reopened, and accusations hurled like daggers in the air. Meanwhile, across town, another battle was brewing. Ridge Forrester, the golden boy of the fashion world, found himself locked in a bitter dispute with his former protégé, Thomas. What had once been a mentor-mentee relationship had soured into something far more toxic, fueled by jealousy and resentment. With the future of Forrester Creations hanging in the balance, both men were prepared to fight tooth and nail for their slice of the pie. But amidst the chaos and conflict, there were glimmers of hope. For as long as anyone could remember, Hope Logan had been caught in the crossfire of her family's feuds. But now, with a newfound sense of clarity, Hope saw an opportunity to forge her own path. With her sights set on a bold new venture, she reached out to an unlikely ally, one who could help her turn her dreams into reality. As the week unfolded, alliances shifted and loyalties were tested. Secrets were unearthed, and long-buried truths came to light. But through it all, one thing remained constant, the indomitable spirit of the Forrester family. For no matter how fierce the battles they faced, they emerged stronger, united in their determination to overcome whatever obstacles stood in their way. And so, as the sun set on another tumultuous week in the world of the bold and the beautiful, one thing was clear: recriminations, clashes, and opportunities may come and go, but the bonds of family would always endure. Light filtered through the curtains, casting a soft glow over the quaint bed and breakfast nestled in the heart of a sleepy town. Birds chirped cheerfully outside, unaware of the drama unfolding within the walls of the cozy inn. Luna, a young woman with a penchant for late nights and strong coffee, stirred reluctantly in her bed, blinking away the remnants of sleep. As Luna stretched and yawned, her mind gradually began to register the unpleasant sensation lingering in her mouth. It was as if something had crawled in during the night and died on her tongue. Wrinkling her nose in distaste, she tentatively licked her lips, only to recoil at the taste of stale coffee and something distinctly foul. What on earth? Luna muttered to herself, her brow furrowing in confusion. She couldn't recall eating anything particularly pungent the night before, and yet the sour odor seemed to permeate every breath she took. Pushing aside her confusion, Luna swung her legs over the side of the bed and padded across the room to the bathroom. Flipping on the light switch, she caught a glimpse of her reflection in the mirror and gasped in horror. Her usually bright eyes were bloodshot and tired, dark circles etched beneath them like smudges of charcoal. But it was the state of her breath that truly horrified her. Opening her mouth, tentatively, Luna leaned closer to the mirror and exhaled. The stench hit her like a wave, causing her to recoil and gag. It was as if something had died in there overnight, and she was now paying the price for it. Frantically, she reached for her toothbrush and toothpaste, determined to banish the foul odor from her mouth. As Luna vigorously brushed her teeth, she couldn't shake the feeling of unease gnawing at her insides. What could have caused her breath to become so repulsive overnight? Had she eaten something rotten without realizing it? Or perhaps it was some strange side effect of the new medication she had started taking? Despite her best efforts, Luna couldn't rid herself of the putrid taste lingering in her mouth. Desperate for relief, she rummaged through the bathroom cabinet in search of mouthwash or breath mints, anything to mask the offensive odor emanating from her lips. After several minutes of frantic searching, Luna finally unearthed a bottle of mint-flavored mouthwash buried beneath a pile of toiletries. Without hesitation, she unscrewed the cap and took a generous swig, swishing the cool liquid around her mouth in the hopes of banishing the foul taste once and for all. To her dismay, however, the mouthwash seemed to have little effect on her breath. If anything, it only served to mingle with the underlying stench, creating a nauseating concoction that made her head spin. Panic began to rise within her, twisting her stomach into knots as she struggled to comprehend what could be causing her breath to smell so horribly. With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, Luna realized that she would have to face the outside world with her foul breath in tow. There was no way she could stay holed up in her room all day, especially not with breakfast being served downstairs in the quaint dining area of the bed and breakfast. Summoning every ounce of courage she possessed, Luna braced herself and ventured out into the hallway, the taste of bile rising in the back of her throat. She could already imagine the horrified looks on the faces of the other guests as they recoiled from her, unable to bear the stench emanating from her mouth. As Luna descended the stairs, her heart pounding in her chest, she couldn't help but feel a sense of shame wash over her. How could she face the other guests knowing that she was the source of such a foul odor? Would they think she was dirty or unhygienic, when in reality she had brushed her teeth more times that morning than she could count? Taking a deep breath to steady her nerves, Luna pushed open the door to the dining area and stepped inside, bracing herself for the inevitable reaction. To her surprise, however, the room was empty save for the innkeeper, a kindly older woman with a warm smile and a twinkle in her eye. "Good morning, dearie," the innkeeper greeted Luna, her voice cheerful, despite the early hour. "I hope you slept well." Luna nodded mutely, her cheeks flushing with embarrassment as she tried to avoid making eye contact. She couldn't bear to see the disgust reflected in the innkeeper's gaze when she inevitably caught wind of Luna's foul breath. As if sensing Luna's discomfort, the innkeeper cocked her head to the side and studied her for a moment, her expression thoughtful. Then, to Luna's utter astonishment, she reached into the pocket of her apron and withdrew a small tin of mints, holding it out to Luna with a knowing smile. "I thought you might need these," the innkeeper said gently, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Sometimes, bad breath can sneak up on you when you least expect it." Tears welled up in Luna's eyes as she reached for the tin of mints, overcome with gratitude for the innkeeper's kindness. In that moment, she realized that she didn't have to face her bad breath alone. There were people who cared about her and were willing to help her through even the most embarrassing of situations. With a newfound sense of determination, Luna popped a mint into her mouth and savored the cool, refreshing sensation as it melted away the lingering taste of decay. As she chewed, she couldn't help but smile, grateful for the small act of kindness that had helped her navigate what could have been a truly mortifying morning. From that day forward, Luna made sure to keep a stash of mints on hand at all times, just in case her bad breath decided to rear its ugly head again. And though she never did discover the true cause of her foul-smelling breath that fateful morning, she knew that she would always be grateful for the kindness of strangers, especially when it came in the form of mint-flavored salvation.